That was good.
That was good, Chief.
Bookies. We got to do
Bookies.
that. We got to.
Bookies.
Yeah. We should open up our own betting agency. We could make millions, mate. Millions. Two Beards Bookies.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, mate. G'day. This is the Two Beards Wrexham Podcast, your go-to for all things Wrexham AFC. Join us as we chat about the highs and lows of our favourite footy club. She'll be right, mate. Hello and welcome to another week of the Two Beards Wrexham Podcast. I'm your host, Rousey. That over there, with a good old shining head just like mine, is Adrian, my co-host. Mate, back. Second week in a row you are back.
I'm pretty proud of myself, to be honest, because after last week I was like probably gonna. No, I'm kidding. I'm like, once I saw you with the bald head, I'm like, well, I guess he's replaced me with himself. He just went, you know what? I can't replace him, but I can become him. And then you shaved your head, and then I was like, well, it looks better on you. Now, go find someone else.
You know what I discovered, Adrian?
Tell me.
Going to bed with clean, fresh pillows just after you've shaved your head is literally better than sex.
Fucking good feeling, mate. Good feeling.
Good feeling.
It'll hurt in a couple days when the stubble grows in, and then you're like, fucking itchy prick.
Gonna get the old Pitbull skull shaver out sponsor.
Hey, actually, that should be our sponsor because I actually use the same thing.
Oh, no shit. Well, let's hit him up for a sponsorship. What the fuck are we doing?
My favorite is, I don't know why, and I know there's no other association other than the fucking word, but I thought the Pitbull skull shaver was endorsed by Pitbull, the musician, like Dale, and he's like, well, Mr. Worldwide, and he's like, I just made him sound like Borat, like Mr. Worldwide, well, we were like, it's like, yeah, that's how I imagine Pitbull sounds, but yeah, continue. I digress.
Dude. Okay, so Elliot Lee decided to crash his car.
Okay, you said we weren't starting with a fucking car crash, and you started with a fucking car crash.
It's Elliot Lee. Like, oh my god.
And James McLean did it too. James McLean did it first.
I don't give a shit about James McLean. Elliot Lee smashed his car.
So did you bastard. You fucking rat bastard. You know what? Wrexham players, and I've said it in the pre-show, and I'll say it in the post-show. Catch the fucking bus. The lot of years. Get picked up. Get someone to do it. Get that Deadpool Uber driver that was riding around and stuff. Someone's going to
crash the bus, and then they'll have the whole team on board.
Fuck. All right. You know what? Walk. Just fucking walk. It's a. I mean, I know most of them live a little bit further out.
The Bolton game the other night, and the club released a statement that Elliot Lee was involved in a motor vehicle accident and that he was being seen to. However, I don't know if he's going to be pulling up okay for this weekend's game. I don't think he's, I know he's got big balls, but my gosh, he's doesn't sound so good. This one sounds a little bit more serious than James McLean.
I mean, James McLean did it, so, like we said, cup of cement. Well, no, I'm kidding. It's awful. It's an awful situation to be in anything. I've been in car accidents. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you mentioned to me in the past, you've been in some like yourself, and it's a shitty situation to be in, not only just physically, but mentally. And a lot of football is a mental game as well. It's about confidence. It's about feeling good. Now, James McLean's got oodles of that. He can walk out and do what he does. And I know that Elliot Lee will probably do the same, but much props to both of them, for even, walking out of it unscathed. And at the end of the day, it's all about being safe, If they're safe, that's all that matters, right? Like, I don't care if they miss a game. I don't care if they miss the rest of the season. Are they safe? Then that's the main thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I love Elliot Lee. He's a good bloke. And, I hope he gets a good, speedy recovery from that. I don't even know what car he drives, but hopefully it was a good car and that it will get replaced with an even better car because the dude's loaded.
Dude's loaded. Dude's got insurance up the wazoo, man. Like he's probably okay.
Yeah.
for his car. But I'm more worried about him. As long as he's okay, then we're happy.
I wonder, is insuring body parts still a thing?
We're not getting into this. You already got into it during the week with a certain video.
Speaking of Elliot Lee, so Super Bowl happened,
It
and
did.
the club decided to release a Super Bowl ad with none other than Channing Tatum, which was really interesting, quite funny. Um, Channing Tatum got really up close and personal with one Scottish Viking Jesus.
Loved it.
Extremely brave of him to do that.
Mm.
Um,
It's
and
the first time I've seen Channing Tatum look small. Like, do you know what I mean? He's such a like a larger than life dude. But when he was like face to face with Scottish Viking Jesus, I was like, oh shit! Like SVJ is huge. Like
he's a big boy, man.
he's a beast.
He's a beast.
Beast.
But I mean, it was a. What did you think to the ad? Was it good? Did you like it?
I did. I thought it was fun. I mean, I know everyone's like typical Disney FC, blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. That's what you need. It's people's on the club at the end of the day, and that's what it's about. Getting the eyeballs on it.
To go out enjoying Super Bowl.
So was it for the Super Bowl? Or I thought it was just like a regular ad because that's why it released prior to the Super Bowl.
I don't think it was one of the patented like the halftime ads, but I think it was like either before or just after the
Just to
Super
kind
Bowl
of
they played it. But I decided to do a post. I something caught my eye.
I know something caught your eye. It caught your face and your cheeks, and you got turkey slapped all over, mate.
I'm just it just caught my eye, and I was just like, you can't not miss it. You can't not miss it. So I did a post, and it happened to be one of our most successful X posts we've ever done.
Maybe
It went viral, and all I did was
didn't go viral. It had like 23 likes. Chill.
it was viewed over 40,000 times. That's big for us. I mean, we're such a small
40,000 people who went, oh shit, I'm not reacting to that. If that goes on my timeline, I'm going to look like the perv.
But Elliot Lee in that ad, I have to say, if you haven't seen it, I'll put it right here. Wow, dude is hung. He's hung. I mean, it makes me feel a little bit jealous, mate. You make you a bit jealous too?
Thing is, I didn't notice it when I watched the ad until I watched your little video, and it was like, just fucking Christ. And I was like, of course you noticed it. I didn't even know there was a bit where he was even doing that dance move. I remember he was on SVJ's back at one point and in front of him, like being held or some shit, like whatever, like dance moves. But I didn't see that. And of course it caught your eye. Of course you're the only one who posted it. And of course you got some positive responses and then some negative ones too.
Some people tried to just absolutely rinse me for it. Well, not so much. They're just like, oh, what a strange post, or so what? It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun.
And you know what, Rouse? I love you for it because
if you're offended by a shaking ball sack, then
I don't know if it was his ball sack.
No, I don't know either.
I don't know why I'm even dissecting this, but the point is, Rousey, I love you for it because you made a very good point.
Definitely wasn't wearing underwear.
I guarantee the boys have done that to him. Do you know what I mean? They've gone, oi, mate, what the fuck are you doing here? And they've done, that's what the whole point of banter about locker room banter. And yes, we're like that podcast who does the locker room banter and then we broadcast it to the fucking world. But you do it because we want to make people laugh. We're not doing it because we're like, oh, this will get us a like. This will get us this. It's, hey, did you notice that? That's fucking hilarious. And you know what? I thought it was funny. You know what? Rousey messaged me. And
what was your first reaction when I messaged you that?
So he messages me before it, right? And technically before it. And afterwards I responded, but it was okay. He sends me a message. I want to do something, but I need you to, check that it's okay. I'm like, I wasn't there. I can't remember. Was I sleeping? I can't remember. I didn't think I had reception. I think I was out. And I come home it's too late, already done it. enjoy, and then sends me the video. And I'm just like, and the problem is, mate, when he says that, I'm like, fuck, this is it. This is the end of the podcast. Great to see you guys. Last episode was our last episode. We're done. And you know what? I laughed. I giggled like I laughed so hard. And I was like, you know what? This is what we are. We're immature fun for a reason. That's our podcast. If you don't like it, shove it up your ass. We love the football club. We love talking about the football club. And that involves taking the piss out of ourselves as well in the process. Hence why I made a tweet saying that we needed to make an apology, but then also, backhanded it with, but, call us. Like, Elliot, call us.
That was serious, though. That bit was serious. Like, call us, Elliot.
Call us.
All right. We want you on the show, Elliot.
Do you know what he's like? I can't. Do you reckon he's, how like some celebrities, like they have their, like, I'm sure, I mean, maybe they don't, not all of them do it, but people who are a bit less vain will like, block keywords because they're like, I don't want to see it. I'm sure Drake did it with fucking, with what's his face? Fucking, holy shit, now I've forgotten his name. Fucking Kendrick Lamar. What the fuck's wrong with me? Anyways, did it with Kendrick Lamar. I guarantee he's blocked the two key things. Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar. He's blocked that from his feed. He'll never see it again, right? Elliot Lee's probably blocked Elliot Lee as his keyword.
I'm sure I tagged him too.
That's my point. I think he's blocked that. I think he's just like, I don't want anyone telling me anything about me. I'm done. Every time he probably has done a search, it's just the top results. Rousey talking about his penis. Rousey talking about his penis. Rousey lightly gesturing around his penis, then talking about his penis again. So it's like, it's just a constant thing. But again, that's our shtick. We love to have a laugh. We're 18 plus. We don't shy away from it, and we never will. I hope you guys like it. We love Wrexham. That's the whole point. So shove it.
Coming soon to Pornhub.
Honestly, at this point, the fact that we haven't got an OnlyFans deal is actually fucking beyond me. But
oh dear. Well, that was some good fun.
It was fun.
I mean, it was good that it got some good exposure. It got people talking. It got rival clubs absolutely twisted.
Seething.
Let's face it, they ain't got no one with a dick that big on their squad. So, it got them absolutely twisted. And I love that. I called some Blackpool fan a Mansfield fan by mistake. Or it might not have been by mistake.
Yeah, because that's what I love about like the banter between a lot of Wrexham fans and other fans is obviously the shtick, the deal that they're saying is, oh, Wrexham fans don't know about their own club, or like other clubs, they just care about the Hollywood, blah, 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 right? So when you have accounts like us who are Australian and, not born in Wrexham or from there, of course we're gonna cop it. It's even better when you pretend that you're like you lean into it. You're like, yeah, well, enjoy the Premier League, mate. And it's like, we're in fucking League One. Shut the fuck up, like and you just lean into it and just let them seethe. Because at the end of the day, life is so short, guys. If you can't just have a laugh and move on, and you're sitting there behind your keyboard typing away, fucking writing an essay about it, just chill. It's okay.
It'll all be okay.
It'll all be okay.
It'll be okay. But on that note, he was driving home from a game when he had the car accident. What game was he driving home from? The Virtue Trophy game.
Oh, that's a good segue.
So let's get into that after the break, hey?
Well done. That was well played, sir. Good job.
After this, we'll talk about the game and look forward to this weekend. Let's go. Woo-hoo. So, Virtue Trophy. We are through to the final four. We're in the semi-finals. We got Peterborough at home. Peterborough. It's from Peterborough. So it's looking very much like this is going to end up being a Birmingham Wrexham finale at.
I don't want it.
You don't want that. How epic.
It'd be epic, but I don't have any confidence that we'd beat them, mate.
All season long, we have It's been us and Birmingham. The biggest games of EFL have been
Yes.
Birmingham. Birmingham at Wrexham or Wrexham at Birmingham. It's just had the biggest coverage of any game, and it's a huge possibility now it's going to end up being Wrexham versus Birmingham at fucking Wembley.
Yeah.
Man, woohoo, that's
Bolton,
juicy.
Bolton fans were fucking so funny though. They were like, "Oh, thank God that's over. Now they can have their Hollywood Super Bowl at Wembley and like Birmingham and Wrexham and blah blah blah." It's like, firstly, both teams have to make it. And how many cups have you seen? Of course, Liverpool, where teams are meant to win and don't do it. Don't deliver, and that could be us. It could be Birmingham. You don't know, but yes, it is a tasty idea. I do think it'll be fun for the laughs and the banter, but I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried, mate. They're a very good outfit at Wembley. It's a bit of a hard one. There'll be a bit of hype around it. It'd be interesting to see how both sides rock up because it definitely is going to be different territory. It's not going to be like when we visited them, definitely. But I also think it's not going to be like when they came to us. So,
Yeah, and it'll be
plan to come
interesting
to
to
us.
see if we actually sell out the stadium for a Virtue Trophy game. When was the last time Wembley sold out? That's going to be huge.
When was the last time Wembley sold it? Probably last year in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, probably last year. But we had to get past Bolton, and now Bolton was an interesting one. We've had some good games against Bolton this year. Very tight,
yeah.
very close and gritty affairs, I think, even one ending in a draw. Now, how did we play against Bolton? We didn't really field our normal starting 11 either.
No, like it's really funny because like it was a different like approach to the game. I felt we had obviously Okonkwo. I think I'm just looking at my notes that I wrote down, but like Okonkwo's probably, if not, got us that win. I think purely off of just the saves that he was being able to put in. I think at the 11th minute, I wrote down that there was a point where good shot on goal was denied by a class stop there, and he just continued to hold stick fat to it, not let anything kind of go past. And look, yes, being at home can really help. I know that, but we've also seen, playing at home sometimes isn't everything. So it was just really good to see the way that we were able to do that. Again, I think I'm pretty sure from the stats, Bolton had 60% possession. Again, another bullshit stat that when we have less possession, we win. When we have more possession, we tend to lose. And I think it's just because we tend to squander our chances when we have them. Whereas when we have less of the ball, I feel like we take more of the opportunities because we realize they're a bit few and far between. So that's what I kind of felt like.
I actually thought Bolton looked very similar to Stevenage.
Oh, okay.
Stevenage beat us.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Very, very, very similar football.
Why wouldn't you though? Why wouldn't you look at their gameplay and do that?
I think they would have probably looked at Stevenage and then tried to emulate that because they would have known that we tend to struggle. But through the saving grace of Okonkwo's hands, we held on. That's true. We were actually able to change our play somewhat to really make a go of it. And I tell you what, we got one goal in the game, and it was an absolute worldie. It was such a clinical goal from good old Mr. I Saw a Lion.
His little lion man, Andy Cannon, mate. He's just dynamite. 70th minute. I had to relook at my notes there, but 70th minute, cannon. He pulls out a cannon. It was an absolute cannon. But I also it's good to see someone like him who I felt had been, I wouldn't say patchy, but just hasn't had the opportunity as much to kind of show he's been outplayed by players in his position a little bit throughout the year, or injury, or just not making the cut, and for him to just stand up the way he does, little Lion Man is probably we love him because of the stories and the thing that's built around him and McLean, that bromance. But as a football player, it can be a bit remiss of us to mention how classy he is. He is seriously a good footballer, and he's young, and he's got a lot of time to continue on and bring us more glory and moments like that. And it's nice to see it not come from a Scottish Viking Jesus to have to save the day, or
He wasn't even in the side.
no, that's what I
No
mean. It's
McLean
just not.
either.
Yeah, it's just nice to see that kind of thing where we can have other people step up, and yeah, pretty proud of that. What did you make of the of I was about to call him Sam Dolby. That's how obsessed I am with the bloke. But Sam Smith, what did you think of his put in?
I love the Sam Smith, Jay Rodriguez, or J Rod. I love them playing together. They do cause a lot of problems. Sam Smith looks so damn good though. How he's still a League One player, I do not know.
I mean, it's mentioned in every fucking article by any bloody bullshit newspaper. Oh, Wrexham's record signing, and it's like, yeah, that. No shit, because you're right. He should be in championship. He should be in another team, but he's taking that risk of not going up, in the hopes that he would be able to be a starting person for future. Really, in saying that, I was disappointed he didn't score, but I don't think it was from lack of trying or lack of skill. I think their keeper had a pretty good innings as well.
Oh, their keeper had an amazing innings. He had to stop a lot. I mean, we did put a lot of pressure down there. Mo Farl impressed me. I mean, he had a couple of little mistakes in the game, but he recovered from them. And his hold-up play, the fact that he's not afraid to back into someone and not go down, like just hold his ground, stand his ground. I love that. I think there's some real potential with Mo Farl, and
And from a young lad too, like you mentioned it just then, the potential, it's there and it's showing. And the fact that a kid that age is, like you said, not being pushed over, because so many times you see kids of that age who get the go in these trophy games, and get bullied a bit. They get pushed around because they usually got a stalwart centre back who's just kind of bullying him about, pushing him around, and they're ending up having to flop for something because they just don't have the muscle mass on them. They don't have, that experience. But yeah, you're right. He's no pushover. I'd love to see him take more opportunities, but I think it just takes time with more minutes. And like we said every fucking week, project player. So
yeah. But I did sort of have a moment of realization in this game with our strike force. Okay. And it's a bit sad, but I don't think in a league game, I think J-Rod, Sam Smith, Stephen Fletcher, Jack Marriott. I don't think we'll see Palmer and Mullen back together on the field in a league game. How is the Palmer Mullen combo better than those four?
No, I agree, but it's just interesting that you don't think of it like that. You're like, they'll play, but they'll probably, like you said, won't play alongside each other. They'll pop Mullen in next to Sam Smith, or they'll put him next to J-Rod and vice versa, if Palmer gets a go. And look, we've been unlucky with injuries over the time, especially with Marriott. I mean, Marriott was in I would have said, and maybe I'm being biased here because I only watch Wrexham games mainly, is Marriott was on best player of the season.
He was on
a track. He was on track.
Getting back on track. I mean, he started the game.
Yeah,
he actually looked good. Like, he was getting into all the right positions. You could see him creating runs. You could see him creating problems. Like, he was involved in so many plays, especially running forward. I mean, Marriott looked lively and promising as well. Like, I don't think we are too far away from seeing the Marriott that started the season. I think he's probably going to even put one away on the weekend.
I think you might be right, mate. That is a very good call because, look, what I'm trying to mainly say is that he won't obviously win. He can't win it because he's missed too much, right? So he's not going to win a player of the season at the club or even in the league or anything or team of the season. I mean, then again, sometimes, stranger things have happened. He could kick 20 goals and just fucking tear the competition alight. But I just think you're right. I just feel like he was on the cusp of it. Injuries succumbed to it. It gave Palmer an opportunity. And let's not shy away. Palmer had a very good patch of form towards the start of that season when he needed to. But then when he signed the contract, it sort of just nosedived a little bit. Obviously, Mullen hasn't lived up to pre-injury form. He hasn't come back to that pre-injury form. You're replacing him with these guys who've come in. It's kind of it's just how it is. But, stranger things have happened. Sam Smith, touch all the wood, but, he could go down, could be out, could get a suspension, whatever it could be.
Mean, obviously, we've
all
got
of these variables.
Injury back up there, but I think the starting four will be those that I said. It'll be Marriott.
You mean like in the starting your lineup? Yeah. Like so from the bench and I see what you mean. Sorry.
I think it'll be Smith Rodriguez to start, then Marriott Fletcher to finish.
It's a pretty good finish, mate. I'd love to see Marriott with Smith.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. But again, it's all about synergy, right? And mate, I guess
what about let me throw this one out here, right?
To it.
Scottish Viking Jesus and J-Rod.
Oh, that's a spicy kind of interesting idea. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in. Let's check back in a couple of weeks. I'd love to see what rotations have been done with Parky, especially if we were to drop some games again. Like as much as we've brought these guys in, Parky is a form coach in the sense that he will, if someone's out of form, he'll let them know. And if they're not doing it on the training, paddock, then they're not allowed to bring it onto game day. And he's shown that with a lot of his selections throughout the year. He has left some people in sometimes to give them an extra chance, but I don't think that's going to happen now that we've got the full strike force.
It would be remiss of us to talk about a new players and not mention good old Ryan Longman. Mate, he's fucking looking the shit. He's looking pretty damn good.
Looking the shit.
He's looking the shit. I quite like him. He's quite inventive. He takes on his man, not afraid to run straight at him. Makes some good passes. Not afraid to come inside. Yeah, we'll just move on from that one. But Ryan Longman, yeah. Yeah,
he's gone. He's done it. He's derailed himself. He's too busy. Like,
I need you
how
to
can I
save
follow
me,
that up? But no, you've got a point. He does look like a creative player and something that we can look forward to. I always hate making judgment calls because I'll listen to our early eps and I'll be like, Dolby, especially after his League Two season. I'll be like, you watch, Dolby's going to be the starter. He's going to be the best thing that happens when we went from National League to League Two. I'm like, you just watch, and then he was fucking dreadful. And then you hate those calls because then they come back to bite you. But it's all about week to week form, and at the end of the day, he does look creative. I'd love him to do a bit more and continue to show us more. I kind of like and Scottish Viking Jesus, I feel like is the best example of it, is when a guy comes into a club and there's a bit of, not shtick to him, they're not but how many people have said Rodriguez is too old, right? I like when they have a point to prove, is the way I would put it, is that they've got that little thing like, oh, you think I can't do that? Okay, no worries. 2 minutes later, kicking a double in extra time, it's injury time, and that's what Scottish Viking Jesus did when he came onto the scene. So I'd love to see stuff like that from Rodriguez, as well as, other players like Longman and
yeah, it'll be good. So Bolton 1-0 straight through. We got four to go.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's
one to go. Two to go.
Peterborough. We will address that when that one comes up, because we got On the weekend,
Northampton.
away as well. So we all know Wrexham and away, blah blah blah. But this feels like a different side all of a sudden. Am I crazy?
Mate,
Like
nah,
there's something that feels different. Like
nah,
they scored 4-1 away the other weekend.
yeah,
Against,
little.
well,
I
it
think
was
it's a
Port
little
Vale,
different.
but
Yeah.
still, they still scored 4-1 away, and I don't know, just something feels different.
Yeah, I
Something
mean
feels different.
Northampton is 17th on the table. That's probably the big thing that feels very different. You know, they've played one game ahead of us, and they're still sitting in 17th on 33 points with a minus 16 goal difference. They've won 8, drawn 9, and lost 13. You know, compared to us, where we're sitting 29 played, 16 won, 7 drawn, 6 lost, with a plus 18 goal difference. The big thing I love about the FOTMob app is it gives you some little fun facts. So this is my favorite fun fact they've put here. So Northampton have scored 5 goals in their last 5 matches. Okay, not really a big stat. Wrexham have scored 10 goals in their last 5 matches. So we've scored double to them. You go off of that. Stephen Fletcher has the most shots on target per match for Wrexham, which is crazy with a 2.4. And Ryan Barnett is ranked second in big chances created in the competition with 12. Now we're coming up a team that I just don't think, even if we were to rotate what we have played this week and putting in a Scottish Viking Jesus, that stat proves to me that we can put in a different side and still probably pull away with the 3 points. I would say it's classic Wrexham fashion to pull away with a draw. And I don't want to be pessimistic, but I always say I'm not surprised if that happens. But I think the big takeaway that we always say, which is away from home, obviously 3 points is the goal, but as long as you get 1 point, you know, and then take the ones at home, then we're okay. Geez, I'd hate to lose this one.
Well, I would too. And the old Ned's bet bookie odds have Wrexham at $1.90 to win, $3.25 to draw, and Northampton $3.60 to win. So clear favourites with the old Ned's bet. That's
I
something
didn't know
I
you could
haven't
bet on
done
Wrexham
before.
games every year. That's
We've
great.
never spoken about bookies before, so that's something new to the show. We might add every single week. We'll
Oh,
look at the
Jesus
old bookie
Christ. Are we
odds.
betting now? Gamble
Good.
responsibly. Authorized by the Australian Government, Canberra. Like,
You get the Ned's bet apps going. You know, it's
yeah.
let's have a look at the goal scorer markets. Hey, the first goal scorer. I don't know who.
Ned's
Dara
bet.
Costello.
Ned's
At
betting. Are we going to. Well, they're literally getting rid of gambling sponsors. I think it's going to be, I want to say FA wide in like next year or year after. So you're not allowed to have like them on the front of your kits. Would be fucking classic Two Beards fashion is if that goes out and then we somehow walk in with a bookie sponsorship. Fucking Christ, we'd
Sam
be.
Smith is paying bookies favourites for the first score at $6.50. There we go. Hey, I like that. We should do that every week.
We're literally not in case. You can have if you have a punt, gamble responsibly, and don't do what Rousey does and spend it all on strippers and bookies.
Hey, someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
Oh dear, oh dear. So, what do we see happening from this? I think it'll be, you know, clearly the team that played against Bolton was not anywhere near our starting 11, but it was still, they played pretty well. But if we're going to play some, and Parky did say some people look like they earned their spot in the starting team. So what, I don't know if he's going to change things up for this, but Northampton, I think we're going to chalk up a win, and I'm going to go 2-0.
Love it. Yeah, I'm going on a similar wavelength. I'm going 2-1. It'd be classic fashion to be a bit of a slow start after a semi-midweek game, you know. So, and because it's an earlier start, less rest time, I don't know. I'm just giving an excuse to them scoring, but I still think we'll come away with the win. I'm going with 2-1. I think it'll be an early goal to them and then two quick succession goals, hopefully. And I'm going to say 2-1.
2-1 from Adrian, 2-0 from Rousey, and bookies have it as Wrexham win.
Bookies have it.
Well, that was interesting, but we're going to go to ad break now because after the ad break, I've got something interesting to talk about.
Ooh.
Let's do it. Right, let's get into it. Last segment, then we'll wrap things up and let you guys be on your way and have a merry, merry rest of the week. Up the town. See you after the break. Woo-hoo. So, we don't often very much touch on things that are going on around the world in other football clubs, or some people like to call them soccer. We had Sam Kerr during the week. She got proven not guilty for what happened, or racist remarks. But that's not what I want to talk about, because Sam Kerr, different story. I love the girl. She's great. I'm glad that it all worked out for her. But let's talk about football in the state of Australia, because it just appeared recently, and I know this isn't Wrexham related. There's rumours that Wrexham might be coming to Australia. If that's true, we'll make a podcast about that.
Fuck, I want to be there.
But Australia has just introduced championship football. So they've made that a separate tier of Australian football, which they are labelling the championship. Now, here's where it's bullshit. You're wondering why I'm bringing this up. You think that Aussies, right, would take a page out of every successful football league in the world and have promotion and relegation. But what do us Aussies go and do? They have a fucking tiered game system, group stages in the championship, to the top teams then face off with each other, and you don't get promoted.
Nope.
What the actual fuck is the point?
It's because there's no money. So devil's advocate. So this was announced 3 months ago. So the NSD, the National Second Division, was almost not going to go ahead. So they announced it. They announced some foundation clubs. So, Marconi Stallions, South Melbourne, who should be in the league. But it's all Eastern Seaboard teams, by the way, as well. So there's no Perth teams. There's no Adelaide teams. It's only really Victorians. I think there might be a Brisbane team in there, and then New South Wales. So not only is that not a national second division, that's a fucking Eastern Seaboard division, but also they realized there wasn't enough money, because you've got to think about traveling. So you got to send these people on flights to up and down. And it's not like the UK where you can drive 2 hours and be on the other side of the country. Maybe that's, an exaggeration, but you get the point, to get from A to
caught in traffic.
yeah, 14-hour drive it is for a lot of these, for the clubs to get to each other. Some of them, fucking 48 hours to drive if they're going to do that. So they're going to have to fly. There was no money in it. So what they did was they actually pulled the pin on it initially and said, pending, we'll still keep the things and we'll go from there. And then they thought, okay, well, we're not doing promotion relegation anyways, and we already have the Australia Cup, which is the equivalent of the FA Cup in Australia. And then they did something so fucking dumb. which is exactly what you've just mentioned. Not only is there no promotion relegation, they're doing groups. They're doing it over 6 weeks. So what will happen is, and this is what's most fucked, is let's be real. Footballers play enough football as it is. They need time off. Well, what's going to happen to the clubs? So I think there's 10 foundation clubs or 8 foundation clubs. Those foundation clubs will get automatic entry every year because they've got cashed up. Basically, they've got owners, they've got history. Like South Melbourne, I completely agree. They actually should already be in the A-League. That's another discussion. Ange Postecoglou's like a legend there. Not the point. The fucking point is those teams go in every year, and then what happens is the teams who I think finish top 2 or make the grand finals in their league, so NPL WA will play their final. And it's not. I don't even think they're doing it with that, and then they're going to do it with the Victorian clubs and New South Wales. And then those teams who win can join those clubs for the 6-week carnival, really. That's not a second division. That's 6 weeks of bullshit. It's fucking dreadful. You are so right. This country's backwards, but the reason is, and unfortunately it's glaring, there's no money. No one goes to the A-League as it is. So to have a B-League, the National Second Division.
Well, they said that they were they're introducing the Australian Championship to bring more eyes to the game, but you're literally missing the point.
Yes.
What makes league football so good that people want to watch it is the glory of winning and getting promoted and the shame of losing and getting relegated. The stakes that are involved in getting promoted or getting relegated is huge. And we missed the fucking bat on that one, because I tell you what, you're going to give yourself a championship and you're going to model it, and say, oh, it's a championship. And you have the A-League, which is, supposed to be like the Premier League equivalent. Well, it's not, but it's supposed
fucking shit house.
in the tiers of things I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You have the A-League at the top. The fact that there's no stakes involved, it just makes it not very fun to watch. Makes it fun to watch if your team make it to the final.
Yeah, good on you. If you can make the final, then good on you. But think about those clubs who have now they've played 30 weeks of football or whatever it is between. So this is another thing. I'm just sorry, my brain's just fucking going over.
I told you that you'd love this one.
Oh, this is fucked because, okay, so giving you context. So A-League wanted to match the Premier League. So they played over summer in 40-degree heat because fucking backwards, right? So what they did was they went, right, from October to May, they're going to play the A-League, right? But all of the rest of the competition, because of the way the seasons work in Australia, they play from March till September, right? Because that's when our winter period is and spring kicks in. So what have they done? The National Second Division, they're like, oh, what we'll do it at the start of the A-League season so that they can't use A-League top-up players. So no top players are going to want to play in this competition. So that's the first problem. The second glaring problem is, think about the injuries that happen throughout a season. You might not be able to even field a fucking side, let alone travel there with the money you've got. Because let's be real, the reason that there's foundation clubs is because they know if they solely did it on, I don't know, top 3 clubs of each state got to compete in this cool competition, they couldn't afford it. So they've got the cashed up teams as foundation clubs mixed in with a couple of the champions clubs that will get like their way paid. That's assuming that they can get players. That's assuming that it's clashing with the A-League. So there will be games where the A-League is fucking playing and this National Second Division is supposed to get eyes on the sport and it's clashing. It is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm so glad you brought it up because I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I can't see anyone being passionate about it, wanting to watch it, when there's no way from going from that into the A-League.
It's
It's
just
just like,
like,
oh, you win a cup.
yeah,
Yeah, sweet. I'll just put my beer in that cup, or I'll
yeah.
take a dump in that cup, or whatever.
They don't even get that much
Like,
money if they win.
no, it's fucking stupid.
It barely pays your fucking
And
trip
it
for your
just goes to
team.
show. I mean, you think the EFL are bad or FAW are bad or whatever. Fucking Australian football's fucking backwards, and they wonder why. I'm telling you now, there is a massive, massive contingent of football fans in Australia, massive, and we all pay attention to the English football, and I guarantee you, not many of them will be paying attention to the A League. Why? Because the EFL league, the way it's done with promotion and relegation, and the way it's hyped up and all the stakes involved, makes you want to watch it. As an Aussie, you'll have more people waking up at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning to watch a game than will watch an A League or a Championship Australian game.
Yep. At a peak
They're
time too.
missing out. They are literally missing the point. And everyone's been crying out for so long that for Football Australia to do something. Every single time we wait for 4 years, the popular, World Cup comes around. Everyone gets behind Australia, gets out, supports the team. It's massive. You get patriotic and passionate. And the one thing that comes out of the World Cup every single year is that, the Football Australia should capitalize on this success, and the fact that Australian football is they should capitalize it. But what the fuck do? Jack shit.
We made the fucking round of 16. We played against Argentina. We were robbed. As a nation, I'm kidding. But, do you know what I'm saying? We put in a fucking good effort against Argentina. We made it to the round of 16. We beat a team like Denmark, who's got a fucking incredible league in their own. Do you know what I mean? So every year they say capitalize, and then the women's soccer as well, like the women's I call it the women's World Cup, and then even the Olympics. Capitalize on it. Everyone loves the Matildas. Capitalize on football in Australia. Unfortunately, everyone goes, but it's because AFL's too big or this is too big. No. Let's stop saying that, because how many people tuned into Australia versus Argentina at 4 in the fucking morning versus, the AFL grand final this year? It was more people, telling you now. So there's no bullshit about telecast rights.
And you have Matildas packing out the fucking, for a friendly game, packing out Optus Stadium, packing out the MCG.
Yep.
For a fucking friendly.
Yep. They got 60,000. They got 80,000. They got 100,000.
They want to see, Mackenzie and all them. They want to see them. The thing is, and brings me back to my point. Football Australia, get your fucking act together. You have an opportunity to really stamp football as one of the main Australian sports, and you fuck it up every damn time.
And you know what?
Pisses me off.
There's a stigma. So for the expats, I say expats, I mean the people who are not from Australia, people who are outside of Australia who are like, why are we even mentioning this? The reason this is being mentioned is we are Wrexham supporters through and through, first and foremost, right? Club over country, everything, right?
And I want a club here that I can support like Wrexham.
Correct. Because we can't have that. I was a Melbourne City, and I still am a Melbourne City member, which is in the A League. They're a small club that got bought out by Manchester City. So they used to be called Melbourne Heart, supported them back then. Then they got bought out. So everyone's like a kind of the whole Wrexham deal. But there's a difference because there's salary caps in the A League. Not the point. Point is, they get like fucking 4,000 people at the games, mate. 4,000 people in like big games, home games, you know. And I used to love going when I lived in Melbourne. But now that I'm not, I'm just watching the telecast, and the telecast is boring because they're not passionate about it. They don't give a fuck. The telecasters, the commentators don't give a fuck. They're talking about, oh, did you see Liverpool last night? Oh, that was crazy. You know, they're talking about shit like that. And there's a stigma they call it Euro snob. So in Australia, if you follow a team outside of Australia over someone local, then you're a Euro snob. You follow them because you think you're better than this league. Fuck you. That's why. 100%. Why do I follow Wrexham? Because I'm fucking passionate about it. There's people who bleed for the club. There's history behind it. And I understand history is not built overnight, but it's not doing it the way we're doing it now. The A-League has been around, 21 years now, 22 years. The NBL, the basketball, and I can't believe I'm making this reference, the NBL, I think, liquidated the league twice before they got it right. They went, fuck, we can bring back Perth Wildcats because they've got history, the Adelaide 36ers because they got history, but the teams in Melbourne, no one gives a fuck. So we'll create some new clubs, get some grassroots, fucking vibe to it. They made a Southeast Melbourne team, and that team's gangbusters fans. I know it's a different sport, but it's the same premise that, if it is broken, you do need to fix it. And sometimes it's liquidating a league, saying, okay, who's successful? And it's a hard, bitter pill for me to swallow as a Melbourne City fan.
The problem is no football team is successful in the A-League.
Except for two clubs, and the only reason I'm saying this is purely off of membership numbers, is Western Sydney Wanderers, because they won the Asian Champions League a couple of years ago, and they're based in Bankstown. So there's a huge Lebanese population who love their club. Football is their, like, Western Sydney is their club. Melbourne Victory has a huge Greek population in Victoria. Again, it's been like, we talk about it, I think, with Mark Riffis on an episode about everyone says, oh, it's an ethnic divide. No, it's not. It's people going, you know what? I'm hanging out with people, like-minded individuals like me. My friend goes, and he goes, and then all of a sudden, his mate who's not Greek is Croatian, English, Scottish. They're going. So Melbourne Victory have done it. I'm a big Melbourne City fan, so saying this is a real bitter pill to swallow. But Melbourne Victory have done it right. They were like, right, capitalise on being in the area we're in, and get the bums on seats. Western Sydney did it as well. Unfortunately, the rest of the league have not done that. And it's the league itself to blame because they want it. Perth Glory want it. They've got history. Perth Glory have been around since the fucking NSL days. National Soccer League, guys, for your history buffs out there. That was pre-A-League. There was teams like Adelaide City, who I watch in my local NPL, which is the second division currently in South Australia. Do you know what I mean? And they got put aside to make these manufactured clubs that no one wants to see. So help the teams like Perth Glory, help the teams like Western Sydney Wanderers, Melbourne Victories, who've probably got the followings behind them. Fucking back them. Do something with the money and the funding.
Yep.
Anyways, I digress.
100% agree with you, because it is a case of the fact that we're willing to wake up at ungodly hours to support our team that we quite feel connected to, will bleed for and die for. Now, you might argue, oh well, Rousey, why don't you support Perth Glory and all that? I do support them to a sense, but the fact is, I wouldn't wake up at 3 a.m. to watch Perth Glory.
Nope.
I wouldn't put my life on hold or do what we do here for Perth Glory.
Nope.
For the pure fact is, the quality of football and the excitement around it within the A-League is pretty much non-existent. It is dry, drab, boring. Perth Glory lost, or Perth Glory's in the shambles. I don't give a fuck. No, I don't think many people that will try and support them for the sake that they're from Perth, but I don't care about them that much.
No.
If they folded tomorrow, I'll be like, oh well. It's
Sucks, but but it is the reality, and that's why I know it sounds super because it's not an easy fix. I'm not saying it's an easy fix. I know that their media needs to be overhauled, and they've already done that and lost millions of dollars trying to do their media, and then they basically came out and said, "We're not doing that media stuff anymore." Sorry, and they've just hired one teenager with AI to run the pages, but it's not the club's fault. It's the league. The clubs are trying. The clubs are trying to stake a claim. I know even Melbourne City, which have been claimed as being soulless and can't put bums on seats because they got bought out by Man City, blah, blah. They've gone to like the southeast suburbs of like in Dandenong, and they've really, in the city of Casey, have really tried to entrench themselves in the community. But the problem is those kids go, "Who are you? I don't know who you are." Oh, because I don't see the coverage on the news. I don't see the coverage on I don't see a poster of him at the train station. I don't see. There's no visibility. Fuck, I have seen more Welcome to Wrexham posters than I have seen of any other A-League poster.
Same
in Australia.
Same. You bring up a valid point there. Exactly. I've seen more Welcome to Wrexham posters. I've seen more things around Wrexham. And, and the other teams as well, your Arsenals, your Liverpools, your
big
Man
games.
City. You see it. It's fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's on Optus Sport, one of the biggest sporting platforms in Australia at the moment, dwarfing the likes of KO and beIN, and which A-League has now been relegated to the beIN Sport platform.
I think they're on Paramount Plus now, and it's just fucking shit show. This was last season, but I'm just pulling at straws here at this point. But like, you watch a game, and literally, I shit you not, this happened. They missed the goal. Like, there was a goal happening, and they were just too busy piss farting around with the camera stuff, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Because not even the fucking cameraman gives a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Fuck me. Like my favorite was when people were shitting on, remember we're in the National League and we're watching National League TV, people would shit on it. The sun's in the camera. Mate, it's still a better watch than the A-League. It's still, and that's no disrespect to the commentators and the pundits that do their job well, and they do. They're just doing the best with what they're given. Honestly, mate, I think they need to do an overhaul. MLS did it a couple years ago, well, a few more years ago now, and absolutely uprooted the system and went, right, let's start from bare bones and work it out from there. The A-League technically did it in the early 2000s, 2005 or 6, when the NSL, they liquidated in the late 90s, early 2000s. They tried to do that with the A-League. Problem was they started with, I think the only club that existed prior, just from memory, was Perth Glory. Everything else was manufactured. Melbourne Victory, Adelaide United. Maybe I'm talking out my ass here, but again, these are these things. So if you're from Wrexham and you're listening to this, obviously you appreciate what you've got now, and I know that it's looking good right now. We've got good owners. We've got we're in a really good position, and we don't take it for granted, even ourselves. But don't take for granted the experience and the tribalism that you get following Wrexham, because the jealousy that Rousey and I have, I'm going to shout out Aaron here. Aaron follows the Indy 11, which I think are in the equivalent of the second division of MLS, which don't have promotion relegation either, by the way. And they still make it work. And they still have the tribalism, and they still have the support, and they still have, the passion. That's, we need more energy, more passion, more energy. Like we need it. We need that. And I think that's why I love Rex.
Use them.
You got to use them. But I love this club so much, and I love Wrexham, and I will to the day I die. And I know you will too. It's because that tribalism is infectious. The going to an away game, seeing our mates from Wrexham who we know and love over the time, they go to those things, and I'm like, I want to go to an away game because that's where you can be most tribal. That's where you can really, you're really with your brothers in arms. You think it's, at the racecourse, with a full Wrexham crowd. But no, it's when you're with 1,000 Wrexham fans versus 12,000 fucking Birmingham fans, whatever it might be. That's what you want. That's the tribalism that there's just not in the A League. It is in the AFL, Australian Rules Football. It is in the NRL, the National Rugby League in New South Wales and Brisbane. There's that fucking, what do they call it, the state of origin. That there's that huge tribalism there.
Blues versus Reds.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. With us, mate, that's why we fell with love with Wrexham. Yes, you know, the Hollywood story helps get the eyes on it, but we love it for the tribalism, for the football.
The other thing is as well, like, you look at, you know, you ask any fan of football around the world that's not in Australia, and they will know Bundesliga, they will know Serie A, they will know the EFL Premier League, all that. They will know this, and they will know teams. They could probably name teams in there. I guarantee you, if you say, name me a team in Australia and what league what their league is in Australia, I guarantee you they wouldn't even know.
Yep.
Because there's literally nothing coming out of Australia with regards to football, unless it's World Cup and it's the Australian national team. I mean,
yeah. Honestly, like, I know we're flogging a dead horse here, but at the end of the day, my dream is we do another World Cup run in Los Angeles, or I think that's where it is next, right? We do another World Cup run. We go into the round of 16. We get the buzz, and then the A-League goes, you know what? Let's rebrand, because I'm sick of them changing the logo every 4 years. Oh, we'll just change the logo. That'll get people involved. No, it doesn't. No one gives a fuck. Reroute the thing, absolutely fucking hard reset that bullshit, unplug the PowerPoint, and start again. Yeah. I'm not saying liquidate the clubs and the owners and the people who are really invested in it, but realize what's working and what's not. Keep the 12 teams that are in the A-League right now, or 13, because they've just introduced another New Zealand team, ironically, that's owned by Bournemouth's owner. Auckland City, I think they're not Auckland.
That's the thing, Adrian. I mean, it is literally, they had it at their fingertips. They have the answer. And the funny thing is, if you go on Facebook and you read the Facebook post where they're announcing the new Australian Championship, everyone's like, what's the point? You can't get out of it. You can't get promoted or relegated. Everyone's saying the same fucking thing. If the answer is that clear,
do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just like you said, gut the whole fucking thing, gut A-League, keep the teams around, restructure it.
Yep.
And just do it.
Do it.
Have the lower leagues. Have your local fucking teams.
I'd feel more passionate if the team up the road from me, Adelaide City, I live where I've moved to now is near Adelaide City. For those local, don't stalk me. But Adelaide City is up the road, and they have a prestige in the NSL. They won title after title in the National Soccer League, they called it in Australia, and they won it. And then they were just basically told when the A-League came around, sorry, we're going to make a new Adelaide team called Adelaide United. Unlucky, your heritage and everything. Oh yeah, we don't want to, because you were based in Italy originally, like you have Italian heritage. We don't want to make it an ethnic thing. So we're just gonna do whatever. Who gives a fuck? If they up the road got a chance to get into the A-League, I'd be at every fucking game.
I would too. 100%. If the Kelmscott Kangaroos.
Yeah, Kelmscott, shout out to them.
Shout out Kelmscott Kangaroos. Had an opportunity to work their way up the way it's done in England and the UK, Wales and everywhere else. If they've got that opportunity to do it, I would be 100% behind them. 100%.
100%.
It's so frustrating. And look, I know we're going on about this, but I think it's important for you guys to actually see, just how different things are in Australia compared to the rest of the world, because football is the world's game.
Yep.
There's no
really is.
Ifs, buts, maybes about it. It's the world's game, and it's the world's game for a reason. And Aussies genuinely love sport, and they love the traditional football. And I guarantee, I just think they've got the formula. They just need to do it. And Yeah.
Yeah, like shit,
Gosh.
dude. Like, on another complete absolute spin on it, they've announced in 2026 they're going to bring an NFL game, in-season NFL game, to the MCG in Melbourne. So where the sport that the Super Bowl is played in, I think the Los Angeles Rams are going to host, I think, the Philadelphia Eagles at the MCG in 2026. And I'm sorry, but there is more buzz around that, which is not this year, but fucking next year, not even this current season. It's the following season. Like, and there's more talk about that. People are registering interest. You can register interest. This is a sport that Australians don't. I mean, yes, there is a contingent of people who do watch it. I'm not denouncing that, but it's not a major sport here. No one plays gridiron locally up here unless they're a lot of the
Most
university
people don't
teams.
understand the rules to the damn.
Exactly. So there's more interest around that one game than there is about an entire league. That's what's getting to me at the moment is Australia's losing its football identity and just being told, oh yeah, you can go to the World Cup every 4 years, but those 3 years in between where you do those World Cup qualifiers, no one cares. Oh, the A League, you know how you got all those young guys, yeah, they're going to get bought because we can't afford them anyway. So those young guns that you're trying to make, yeah, they're going to go to the Celtic, they're going to go, they're going to go to their, St. Pauli. I think their captain is our Socceroos captain, Jackson Irvine, is in they're in the Bundesliga now, but he was in the second division of the German league, as soon as he could get there, because that's unfortunately the state of this country and this league that we have. So if you ask why Wrexham, it's not just it's about passion, it's about tribalism, and it's about being a part of something. And we feel more a part of Wrexham on the other side of the world when we wake up at those hours than we ever will with our local. And that is the saddest story.
Yeah. Wow. What a topic.
I'm so surprised you brought that up, because I've been fucking like, it's got nothing to do with us. Don't bring it up. And then you bring it up. I'm like, okay, fuck this guy, fuck these guys.
We love it. But I think it's important that people see and understand, from an Aussie's perspective and why, why we're so into it and all that sort of stuff. And I think they've just sort of seen, a glimpse of the way things are and what we think about it. And I think it's awesome and it's great. And we do this every single day in our Discord. So,
your segues today have been absolutely fucking mint. They have been perfect, mate.
Yeah, we have our own Discord, fans only Discord. We have a program, a patreon.com/2beards, which we call them our fuckheads. So it's just a little affectionate name for them. But we have our own Discord where you can chat with us and chat with the other people that are passionate about Wrexham, and even a Wigan supporter in there.
Love you, Neb.
Love you, Neb. It's a great tight-knit little group. Come be a part of it. Costs you $5 a month, and it gets you access to that Discord, where we also do giveaways in the Discord. We also do 10% off our merch to all our fuckheads, so we give you a code to use on the shop, 2beardsmedia.com/shop. We shout out your name every single week on the podcast and give you early ad-free access to the podcast every single week. You get it a full day early. And we love our fuckheads.
Don't we, mate?
Name them. We should shout them out, Adrian.
Name and shame them.
Name and shame the fuckheads.
Name and shame. Our executive producers, so that we have tiers. We have obviously the $5 a month is that, gives you all of that. Your executive producer credit. You're looking at a $10 tier and the $20 tier. You get 6 months rolling merch, which is fucking crazy. We've shipped off a couple of things this last week. So if you've received it recently, I would love to see it in the Discord. Please send your pictures. Hopefully, most of them shipped this week, so should arrive with you next week. But that's to Mad Al, Not PC, Bryant, Welsh Techie, Anthony, and Sarah. We love you guys so freaking much. We appreciate you. Giving that a little bit extra to get us to Wrexham. It's been a bit of a hard slog, trying to do this podcast. I'm going through personal shit. You're going through personal shit, Rouse. It's just been an absolute fucking whirlwind. But to have you guys there and supporting us the way you do, not just financially, but to try the wants to get us to Wrexham is real.
The world. It really does mean the world to us, and it helps us. And you guys have been there for us as well. So
that's it. So the rest of them, to the rest of our lovers, Aaron, Will, Chris W, John, Anthony R, Deandra, Mark, Drew, Neb, Ryan, Jake, Vincent, and Benjamin. I just want to say
and local pundit.
And local pundit. I don't know why I didn't have him listed. Maybe it was when I was away. But local pundit, fucking love you too. But at the end of the day, I missed it. I had no internet for 2 weeks for newsflash. That's why I wasn't a part of anything. And I didn't realize how much, one, I rely on it. How many times I'm in a conversation, let me Google it. I've run out of data. Fuck. Like, it was absolute shit show. But what I think I missed the most was talking to you guys. And a couple of you messaged me personally. Thank you so much for the support over what's been a bit of a difficult time going through my own shit, moving, doing all of that. But Rousey on the other end of that camera, genuinely cannot thank him enough, because he shouldered this whole thing, and he has shouldered this whole thing predominantly this season for a lot of reasons. And he's gone through his own hard slog himself. He's had surgery himself. He's had a lot going on for him. He went bald, poor bastard. And so if you can, show your love to Rousey. Tell us why you love Rousey in the comments. I want to see why. Is it his Elliot Lee jokes? Is it his descriptions of goals? Or is it his fucking beautiful shiny head? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yes, we do like talking to our fans and viewers. Even if you're not a fan, you just like watching us every so often. Welcome. We love you. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be on next week. Hopefully, happy as Larry again, and some more good discussions. Adrian, it's been great, mate. What a show! And
what a show!
We will see you guys next week on the Beards Wrexham Podcast. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.